Hello, welcome to Crafted Spaces. I'm Yvette-Michelle, and today we're meeting with Jennifer Gontier of Hypnotized, where she's going to tell us a little bit about herself and what she does. Hi Jennifer, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Please tell us something about what you do.
My business is a home-based business. I decided after I had my son to be a stay-at-home mom, so I came up with the idea of designing and creating handmade knits.
Tell us, why did you select the name Hypnotized?
It's funny because I was trying to decide exactly what I was going to do as a creative outlet. And I was always interested in knitting and, beautiful, thick, earthy knits and the way they look. And, it just really amazed me that someone could do that with their own two hands and simple tools like knitting needles. Okay. So my dad and I were out in Toronto for dinner one evening, and we were trying to decide what kind of name we could come up with that would have a double meaning, and therefore Hypnotized was one of the first names that we decided on.
Which is pretty clever.
Yes,
Really
yes,
clever. I like that. So basically, sort of that collaborative, evolving everything out of a collaborative kind of feel.
Yes.
Which is great, because sitting down with someone sometimes and kind of bantering back and forth.
Exactly, and that's where it came from.
Okay,
for
good
sure.
Stuff. Yeah. And so some of the things that I noticed on your Hypnotized website and blog that you have is that you also sort of post a little bit of tips and ideas for other people who are into doing knitting.
Yes, I'm also trying to help people who have probably had the same issues that I have had along the way, learning how to knit and do things properly.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about the type of designs that you provide.
The type of designs I provide are more down-to-earth, hand-knit items. Mm-hmm. Hats, cowls, scarves, mitts. I also do a variety of accessories like hair clips. I do printed onesies for babies, a lot of baby booties, a lot of baby clothing. I mean, it seems to be a big hit. So.
Okay, so have you found then that most of your line right now are primarily for smaller children?
I would say mostly, yes. I do have a lot of teens that I have directed some of my items towards, and some adult, but yes, mostly children, young children and babies.
Okay, Jennifer, it sounds like you have quite a range of different designs, mostly, of course, as you've just said, catering primarily to younger children and getting into sort of teen and some adult pieces. However, where would one find, or what sort of venues have you been using to market your designs?
I use a variety of venues. Online, I have a few different ones: Etsy, my blog, Facebook. Some retail stores in my area carry my items, and also local shows like trade shows and markets and things like that.
Now, with the different outlets that you've mentioned, what have you found has been the greatest sort of venue for you, the best venue for you, for where you've sort of seen the most, response or the best success coming out of?
Definitely, by far, it would be the trade shows or markets or craft sales. Partly because I think when people actually see the artists there working on and creating an item that is for sale to them, that they respond to that, and they put two and two together that, okay, this person is actually hands-on creating this item, and therefore they'd like to purchase it.
Do you have any advice for others that might be interested in perhaps doing their own work along this line? Maybe not necessarily knitwear, but who are like yourself, with a child or a stay-at-home mom, or just looking for something that's more independent for themselves and wanting to explore their own business and perhaps do something where they're doing trade shows and craft shows as well?
I would say that it's best to do something that you enjoy doing, because therefore it's not work. And just to put your heart into it and don't give up. You have to just really follow through, and who knows where it will lead you.
Awesome. Great advice from Jennifer Gontier. And we're going to see in a moment some of Jennifer's designs, and we'll get an idea of a little bit more of what she does. Hi, we're back again with Jennifer Gontier of Hypnotized, and she's going to be showing us some of her designs and her original pieces that she have here with us today. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi.
Again. So you brought some of your pieces into Crafted Spaces today to sort of give us an idea of some of the things that you create. Perhaps you can tell us a little bit more about the pieces that we have here in front of us.
Okay. These over here, this is more so directed towards children. There's a hand knit ball, which is great for infants and toddlers. There's my version of baby Uggs. which I think are so cute and actually very warm. These are 100% wool.
They look warm, yeah.
Yes, they're very warm. These are just your simple little Mary Janes. They can be either for girls or boys. Just depends on the color choice that you go with. These are hand printed onesies. They have been stenciled on and are machine washable and dryable. This here is a headband for a baby, and the felt is actually from recycled plastic bottles.
Okay, which we've actually featured some of that material ourselves.
Yes, I have seen that. And the button is a vintage button that I have purchased from an antique shop. So I try to use as many items that are reusable and recyclable and things like that. Anything that I can incorporate in.
Oh, lovely. And we love to have and see more of that sort of replenishable craft items.
This here actually was a sweater that I unraveled and decided to make a cowl out of. So
that is wonderful. Wow.
Yes.
I love the colors in this particular piece.
Yes, it's actually 2 different wools held together and intertwined, and that's how the color kind of took place there.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And I see we also have some children's
mitts for toddlers.
Okay, so we have these.
And they're acrylic, so they can be machine washed and dried for children. I mean, that's a good thing to have that option. These are just some hair clips for little girls. Very simple and cute. And then these are actually crocheted beanies.
I love these.
Yes,
I love the color combination.
They're a big hit. Yeah, I really love these. They're popular. And they're great for little ones. You know, you just toss it on their head and
they're
away
great
you go.
for me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for all ages, really. You're right. Yes. A little pom-pom hat. Just wonderful. Very cute.
And tell me, I love the one that I have on as well.
Yes.
Which is really stylish.
Yes.
But I noticed there's a difference in the knit
yes.
and the design.
This is a lacy knit cowl. So this one was a little bit more intricate, consisting of yarn overs and that versus just a straight knit. This is just knit in the round and it's straight knit all the way around.
Okay, beautiful. And
yes.
was that the same
This is exactly the same. Exactly the same design.
Okay, so the same method that you use. And what about this piece here that you have?
This is 100% wool. It's fisherman's wool, and it's just a wavy design. Once again, it's very basic, and it's just a design of knit and purl, and there you go. You can basically create anything. It's endless with the different designs that you can create.
So basically, between the 100% wool and I believe acrylic.
Yes, synthetic
threads that you use. Tell us a little bit about, like, in terms of the techniques that you use overall for creating your designs. Because you just talked about, what type of knit on
this? This is just your basic knit and purl. Okay. So there's a variety of different techniques that you can use. This one, like I said before, it has the yarn overs in it, which creates more of a holey design, same as this hat. It looks more as though like a crochet design, whereas these hats are all crocheted. And I mean, it's endless. You can just go anywhere with it.
Yeah, that's what you can do with it.
Yeah.
So the piece that's over here, you were telling me when we were off camera a little bit of detail about this particular piece, which I thought was quite interesting.
Yeah, once again, it's basically my unused scraps. It's my scrap yarn that I threw together, and, you know, just the way you put things together, it can create a really beautiful piece.
I love the combination of colors that you use, and it has lots of different texture to it.
And they're different weights of yarn also. Like this is a very heavy weight, so it's very chunky, and right beside this is more of a lightweight yarn, so it's more holey.
Okay, beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer, for sharing with us and for introducing us to what you do, and in bringing to Crafted Spaces something that I think is truly wonderful. I myself have never been able to knit. I started a little tiny sweater, which has remained a little tiny sweater. And so I'm always interested in finding, new and creative people that can do something that we can sort of showcase. And I think personally that these are pretty snazzy. And so one of the places that I believe we can find out more about what you do and to access your designs is your blog. And please give us, what's the address of your blog?
It's hypnotize.blogspot.com.
Okay, and on there you can get all of the information on how you can find out and get in contact with Jennifer in order to order your own piece of Hypnotized Designs by Jennifer Gontier. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me. Thanks.
Well, there you have it. Thank you for joining us at Crafted Spaces, where it's all about creative people, places, and things to do.